This song is called Drop the Oars in the Water. So I'll sing it a few times, and when it becomes familiar, maybe you'll like to sing it with me. Are you able to hear me well? Because part of what I was, okay, great. Part of it was a microphone. Drop the oars in the water. Drop the oars in the water. Drop the oars in the water and let go. Drop the oars in the water. Drop the oars in the water and ride with the flow. Drop the oars in the water. Drop the oars in the water. Drop the oars in the water and let go. Drop the oars in the water. Drop the oars in the water and ride with the flow. One more time. Drop the oars in the water. Drop the oars in the water. Drop the oars in the water and let go. Drop the oars in the water. Drop the oars in the water and ride with the flow.
Terrific. I'm Jane West. I'm the platform assistant today. I know everyone. And I just want to take a minute to kind of reintroduce perhaps our singer and our speaker today. I went to Dr. Google just because, I don't know everything about Lea or Roy, and I thought, let's see what I can find out. I was delighted, but not surprised to learn that Lea comes from such a musical family with a father who toured the world playing the trumpet in the funk band Black Heat, and a mother who dreamed of opera while performing with her siblings in the Jones Family Gospel Singers. And particularly just hearing that song, Lea, you can see Lea's roots. She was on the pulpit of the Baptist church singing before she could speak. And boy, does that shine through, Lea. That's really what a wonderful, wonderful heritage you have there. Lea's shared the stage with Odetta, Mavis Staples, Dar Williams, and Anthony Hamilton. And she is a graduate of the very prestigious Artist in Residence program at the Music Center at Strathmore in Bethesda. So once again, Lea, we love you. We're so grateful to have you here. I can't think of a better way to get us ready for Roy's talk. Drop the oars in the water and let go. And Roy's going to talk about letting go and unburdening ourselves. So thank you for that great warm up. You all know Roy well. I like to remind us just, how incredibly skilled and talented Roy is. He's an unbelievable mental health counselor. He's had just years and decades of experience as a counselor. He's an accomplished playwright, as you know, and all of this shines through in his messages. And just a reminder too, that Roy is our community care coordinator here at Unity. And I love how the description, what is that role? It's to facilitate the natural loving care instincts of our community. How lovely is that, and how perfect is Roy for that role? So thank you for that, Roy. I think for the centering prayer today, I'm going to read the Lord's Prayer or recite it. I've been really missing the Lord's Prayer, and I thought, yeah, it's time. So feel free to join in saying it with me, say it to yourself, or just listen and let it sink in. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
And I'm sure you will have heard this song before, so if you feel like singing along, please do. Who knows what tomorrow brings in a world where true hearts survive? All I know is the way I feel is real. I keep it alive. The road is long. There may be mountains in our way, but we climb a step every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from this world we know, up where the clear winds blow. Now some hang on to yesterday, all their lives looking behind, but all we have is here and now. Let's live our lives here to find that although the road may feel long sometimes, we may see mountains in our way. We can climb a step every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love, please lift us up where we belong, far from this world we know, where the clear winds blow.
Drop the oars in the water and let go. Thank you, Lea. So from that metaphor in the water, let me take that metaphor and let's go to the heights. Damon Perry, in the parable of the trapeze, says, sometimes I feel that my life is a series of trapeze swings. I'm either hanging on to a trapeze bar, swinging along for a few moments in my life, or for a few moments, I'm hurtling across space in between trapeze bars. Most of the time, she says, I spend my life hanging on for dear life to my trapeze bar of the moment, and I have the feeling that I'm in control of my life. Holding on to the bar for dear life. Hanging on to a relationship, a job, an outcome, a belief, to my story, to my narrative, in the way things are or the way things should be. I've clung to them all. What keeps me clinging? She writes, that every once in a while, I look out ahead of me in the distance, and what do I see? Another trapeze bar swinging towards me. It's empty, and I know that this trapeze bar has my name on it. It's my next step, my growth, my aliveness coming to get me in my heart of hearts. I know that for me to grow, I must release my grip on the present well-known bar and move to the new one. Each time it happens, I hope that I won't have to let go of my old bar completely before I grab the new one. But in my knowing place, I know that I must totally release my grasp on my old bar. And for some moments in time, I must hurdle across space before I can grab onto the new bar. Hurdling across space. Really? Thanks so much. I think I'll hang on. Even if it's a job we hate, a relationship that's ruining our health, hold on. Even if it's a church or a religion that tells us we're an abomination, I'll stay. It's less work. I know what to expect. It may be crappy, sure, but it's home. It doesn't matter, she writes, that in all my previous hurdles across the void of unknowing, I have always made it. I am each time afraid that I will miss, that I will be crushed on unseen rocks in the bottomless chasm between bars. I do it anyway. Perhaps this is the essence of what the mystics call the faith experience. No guarantees, no net, no insurance policy, but you do it anyway, because somehow to keep hanging on to that old bar is no longer on the list of alternatives. So for an eternity that can last a microsecond or 1,000 lifetimes, I soar across the dark void. The dark void of the past is gone. The future is not yet here. So when I read that, I thought, isn't it ironic that so often we let go of the bar? So often when we let go of the bar, so often we let go of our connection with God, with Source, that when we soar across the void, when we let go of the bar and we're hurtling across space, we let God go too. We let God go at a time that we need that presence the most. During that time, we call transition. In The Way of Transition, Embracing Life's Most Difficult Moments, William Bridges talks about transition versus change. And he says change is a situational shift. A new job, you leave a partner, a death, a new baby, but that we may not necessarily transition, which he defines as the process of letting go of the way things used to be and then taking hold of the way they subsequently become. Letting go of our hopes, our dreams, beliefs, not just changing the situation or the person. Change jobs, you might still have the same issue with the boss. Move to San Diego, a person still might not have friends. Change partners, and oops, there's your mother again. A change, certainly, but not a transition because we've attached the same behaviors, hopes, fears, beliefs to this new person or situation. We haven't let go of the way things used to be. Bridges tells us that transition can be a chaotic but potentially creative neutral zone when things aren't the old way, but they aren't really a new way either. How about that for our post-vaccine time at this point? They aren't the old way, but they aren't a really new way either. He says we're in a wilderness phase between the bars and the trapeze. Whether it's a bar or a person on another bar ready to grab us, we're in between letting go and taking hold, the time between no longer and not yet. Reverend Sandy and Kay Wood have called it being in the hallway, that hell between two doors. Donna Sturm told me, and I don't know if you folks know, but Donna Sturm worked with the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi and traveled around the world teaching transcendental meditation. She taught that also at the A Street Church where I learned it. She told me that that Maharishi Mahesh Yogi described the experience of being in the hallway as you're leaving the hut and you're going towards the palace. Then you look back and the hut's looking like it's pretty good because of what it feels like being in that transitional space. Of course, sometimes it's not our choice. We are thrown into the hallway. The bar is pulled from us. So often I know I need to let go of the bar. I am reminded of that here every week, friends, because in grasping that bar, I'm grasping onto old thoughts, clinging to crappy, less than spiritual behaviors and beliefs, judgments and fears, which tend to keep me anxious and obsessing. As I said earlier, sometimes the bar we're clinging to is about clinging to the comfort of what is known. What is known, like automatic reactions of anxiety, fear, distrust, reactions that have been our companions for decades. Somewhere we learn to believe that it's not safe to let go. But that's faith. That's faith. But it's faith in things we do not want, faith in beliefs which cause us to suffer. Emmett Fox said, "The laws of thoughts are the laws of destiny. Whatever you believe with feeling, that you bring into your life." So that thought, belief that you believe with feeling, that you have faith in, might not be what you want to bring into your lives to see manifest. The Course says the way to correct our distortions is to withdraw faith from them and invest it in only what is true. We sometimes have a lot of faith. We do. In what is untrue, in beliefs that are damaging, faith in our littleness, faith in scarcity, in not achieving, faith in not being good enough, or that things will not work out. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore tells us it's the law of spirit that we must be that which we would, it is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to us. That which we hold in consciousness will be made manifest to us. Therefore, we should not hold the thought of anything that we do not want to see appear. Well, now, Charles, I know that faith is always given, says the Course, in what is treasured, and what is treasured is returned to you. What is treasured is returned to us. Well, I know that too. I mean, I've been singing our thoughts, our prayers off key for over 30 years. But does that stop me from placing faith in old, crusty, distorted thoughts and worthless treasures? No. Or perhaps a more complete response, it doesn't stop me yet, not completely. And at least now I do know I have a choice. And then when I operate from an old story made up by ego, which does not have my best interests at heart. I need to say that again for me. Ego, it does not have my best interests at heart. I'm choosing poorly and I need to choose again. To choose again when we cling to those stories of who we are, what happened to us, the injustices, the nasty, hurtful people we've encountered, and the tapes we replay that keep our belief systems alive. Let them go, Roy, and choose what is truly treasured. But I like solid ground. And my story of who I am and what has happened and been done to me and the beliefs that have followed it are my identity, my solid ground. Well, wait. That's known ground, isn't it? It's not solid ground. It's more like quicksand, the way it swallows or drowns or covers us. It's like I'm living with the belief that hanging on means I'm safe or safer. And Tara Brach says, we are loyal to our suffering. We prefer certainty of our beliefs rather than not knowing. Wow. Yet that loyalty, that grasping is the source of all problems, says a Buddhist monk, who reminds us, since impermanence to us spells anguish, we grasp onto things desperately, even though all things change. Learning to live is learning to let go. Yet we struggle to hold on. Not only is it impossible, but it brings us the very pain we are seeking to avoid. If I feel good, I want to stay there. If I don't feel good, how can I get back to feeling good? And that brings us the very pain we are seeking to avoid. Someone I was talking to suggested replacing let go with the word unburden. And I loved that. Last week, Reverend Andy spoke about freedom. As we free ourselves, as we unburden ourselves from certain habits, from ways of thinking, from that which does not serve us, like a belief, the need to be right, an old solution which has outlived its usefulness. But unburdening ourselves might mean being in the hallway. The irony of all this is, aren't we eternally in the hallway, in that neutral zone? I was thinking that this in-between zone is the real thing, the truth about our existence, that we dream these bars up to support the illusions of safety and control and permanence, but that in some way we are always between bars, always uncertain, always in the hallway. Now, sure, the doors may open in the hallway and they may shut with an ending and a beginning of something. But what's on the other side of that door, folks? Another hallway. We think we're out of the hallway once the door opens, and for a moment we are. We are on solid ground in the space of knowing. We are not in control of the unfolding of our experience, says Sharon Salzberg in her book, Faith. And she says, faith allows us to relax into this vast space of not knowing. With faith, we move into the unknown. Faith entails the understanding that we don't know how things will unfold. Without faith and change, we would be compelled to repeat patterns of suffering. We don't know how things will unfold. And that's the human experience. Having faith isn't having certainty, it's understanding that we don't know how things will unfold. As Anne Lamott suggests, it's the opposite of certainty, but still being able to relax into that as we surrender to the unknown. I declare that not knowing is the doorway into surprise and amazement, says Robert Fulghum. Ignorance, not knowing is not a failing, it's a ticket to ride. We think we have moments of control over our lives, but we don't. Well, we do have some control. We can control the winds, we can adjust the sails. What we do have control over is our reactions, our words, our prayers. A kid says to his mom, "Mom, imagine you were surrounded by 10 hungry tigers. What would you do?" And the mother says, "I don't know." And the kid says, "Stop imagining." We have control over what we imagine, over our thoughts. On our trapeze, we may choose to think, you better hold on for dear life because you don't know what's next. And then imagine, and you may smash against the rocks below you, puny, helpless thing. Well, who said there were rocks down there? Your church or synagogue when you were growing up? Your parents? A superhero movie? What if it's cotton candy? Oh no, that's disgusting. It's too hot for that. How about cotton or Jell-O? I love Jell-O. Or how about that which is of spirit? Because if we choose to let go of the swinging bar and enter the space of not knowing, which we are already in anyway, as we hang from a bar which could be ripped from our hands at any moment, well, what then? What then? How often do we think, God then, Spirit then, miracles then? The Course reminds us how light and easy this step across the narrow boundaries of the world of fear is when you have recognized whose hand you hold. To hold that hand, I have to let go of the bar. But in my wisdom, I know that hanging on means I am safe or safer. Anne Lamott says she is a recovering higher power. Now, aren't most of us? Let go, let Roy, and suffer. When we truly let go, we unburden ourselves. Eric Butterworth tells us, more important than learning how to recall things is finding ways to forget things that are cluttering the mind. Transitioning to living a more spiritual life means giving up, letting go of our old identity and thoughts, all the beliefs that block our awareness of love's presence. The course. When I let go, I can receive. So the question is to be more content, to be more at peace in this year. What do you need to unburden yourself of? Perhaps not what do you need to add, but what do you need to unburden yourself of? What do you have faith in that you need to let go? Remember what you burned in the burning bowl, those of you who did that? Or those of you who wrote letters to God? Jan mailed them to us last month. I know there were a few things on there that I haven't manifested yet that I need to let go of. In that process of letting go of the things, the way things used to be, when we do work in the neutral zone, when we give up certain hopes and dreams, we leave room for new gifts that the universe might have in store. Gifts perhaps greater than the ones we're attached to or we've imagined. So then we might actually grab the new trapeze with a firm grip, a new strength, or not. Maybe we'll fall onto the net Source provides, the net of family, friends, church, community, of your faith. Maybe we will break a few bones. Parry suggests that transformation of fear may have nothing to do with making fear go away, but rather with giving ourselves permission to hang out in the transition between trapezes. Transforming our need to grab that new bar, any bar, is allowing ourselves to dwell in the only place where change really happens. In fact, it's in that neutral zone that Bridges says we encounter the sacred. The neutral zone is like a vacuum. And from what I understand, nature abhors a vacuum. So what do we fill it with? What do you fill it with? God thoughts? Or the nasty old ones that run an automatic loop in our minds sometimes? You know, we work so hard to get negativity out of our lives. We come to church, we Zoom at church, we meditate, say affirmations. We talk about being children of God. We'll sing the prayer for protection at the end, only to replace old negative thoughts with new, more balanced, more positive thoughts. Till Sunday afternoon, till Sunday night, Monday morning, maybe longer. So often it's out with the old, in with the old. A function of transition is personal growth. Faith helps us to grow. Not faith that things will work out in the way that we want, but that they'll work out, unfold in some way. And this is a big one for me, and that I'll be able to handle it. I may not like it, but I'll have the knowledge, resources, as I'm looking at all of you, support to cope. Can I be with not knowing how it will transform, maybe even relax into that space? That space, a lot of us are in these days, certainly. Well, I can relax into it at moments. It's hard for me. It's as if I put my faith in fear at times, but those moments I can let go of what I thought was going to happen or should happen. I'm able to enjoy what is actually happening. Enjoy, I'm not Amalia. It's more like I can observe what is actually happening without fear. I'll go for that. I'll take that. Sometimes enjoy, but I need to be courageous, have faith, and open to change myself. Emmett Fox says people are often hoping to change conditions without changing themselves. Sometimes that's true of churchgoers who want to stop hurting, but still do or think the same things they've done or thought all their lives. Make the pain go away versus fill me with your presence. Give me faith to believe that together we can do what I cannot do alone. Going to church doesn't make you a Christian or a spiritual person filled with inner peace any more than standing in a garage makes you a car. To stop hurting may mean letting go of the bar, maybe mourning the loss of that old behavior or belief, and hang in the neutral zone. And yes, that may hurt too. Bridget says that most of us have been raised to define courage as the emotional fortitude that enables us to hold fast during difficult times, when the courage that is often called for is the courage to let go. It is a death in some way. Maybe a crucifixion experience. But what follows a crucifixion experience? Resurrection. We never stop giving birth to ourselves. Just remember that when you're hurtling through the void, that you're not doing it alone. And to have faith in more than yourselves, faith in a caring presence who loves you more than all the cupcakes in the universe, as a grandmother I know said to her granddaughter last week, who loves you more than all the cupcakes in the universe. And that in soaring across that void, in sacrificing what we are for what we could become, we are giving birth to ourselves again and again and again. Though when you let go of that bar, it might not be to become the new you. It might be to become the real you. And maybe, just maybe, you will fly. Blessings, my friends. And now if you would join me in a meditation. It's time to go within. Sit or lie in a comfortable position. Eyes shut if that's comfortable. Let the floor, let the seat hold you. And take a moment to really feel that support, to really feel that you're supported. And notice your breath. No need to change the depth or the pace of the breath unless you're moved to. You are choosing to breathe. You are choosing to live. Let thoughts come and go. No need to attach or figure anything out. Watch them flow like a leaf in a stream. Watch them move like clouds. Focus on your breath, or if it feels more comfortable, focus on a sound, or where your hands are, or how your feet are placed. I am ready to give up old, hurtful ways of thinking. I am ready to welcome new ways of being. I am ready to let go of my grasp on the old. Fill me with your presence. Give me faith to unburden myself. Give me faith to believe that together We can do what I cannot do alone. And now we sit in silence, listening for your response. As you gently come back to your space, breathe in these words. I let go of my grasp on the old. I drop the oars in the water. I let go of the way things used to be and receive new treasures, thereby unburdening my heart, my mind, my body, and my soul. And so it is.
In the last year, this has been one of my theme songs for remembering that I don't have to have control of the situation. It's not even desirable that I can let go. And as some say, let God, I say, let love. Love, would you guide my feet? Love, would you light my path? Love, lead the way. Love, would you fill my needs? Love, will you do the math? Love, lead the way. Lead the way, lead the way, and I will walk with trust today. In all I do, in all I say, will follow. Love, lead the way. When I don't know what I'm doing, when nothing feels okay, love, lead the way. When everything feels broken and I'm holding fear at bay, love, lead the way. Lead the way, lead the way, lead the way, lead the way, and I will walk, and I will walk with trust today, with trust today. In all I do, in all I do, in all I say, in all I say, I will follow, I will follow. Love, way. Love lead the way. Love will lead the way.
Leah, that was just magnificent. What an incredible talk, Roy. I needed that today. I felt like you were talking right to me. So thank you so much. So much to digest and think about. Leah, I think that your choice of songs there led the way for my closing prayer, which is very much an echo of the sentiments in your song. This is a prayer that we say at our Course in Miracles group when we begin the group every Sunday and Wednesday. We've modified it a little bit and put the word love at the center of it. So if you like to close your eyes and just let this sink in. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent love, who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because love, who sent me, will direct me. I am content to be wherever love wishes, knowing love goes there with me. I will be healed as I let love teach me to heal. And so it is.